Hello, everybody. Paul Lynn here, talking to you today about some fitness, some weight loss stuff, right? Mostly we're going to be talking about fitness today, training and exercise, right? And ideally, you're in this place where you're already doing some training, but you haven't been doing it very long, or you're just about to start doing some training or some exercise, and you're just kind of trying to make sure you're hitting it from the right angle, right? Today, I want to talk to you about the number one threat to anybody who ever set out to become healthier by doing exercise. And that threat is burnout, okay? Burnout is the reason you're not exercising right now. Because, and maybe you are, but if you're not, chances are in the past, you've been where you're at already and you're like, man, I needed to exercise. I need to do this. And you started a program and you joined a gym and you started running or whatever it was you were doing. And then after some time went by, you stopped doing it. And of course, you had a good reason for it. You had a good excuse. Paul, my knee started hurting, so it's not my fault. Or Paul, I moved and I went to a different place and I didn't have the same resources there anymore. And, Paul, you don't understand. I was so busy with my new family and work that I just didn't have time for that anymore. That all sounds great. And I'm not saying anything to take away from any of those any of those perfectly valid reasons that you stopped exercising. What I am telling you is that even though you might not realize it, burnout was lurking behind every one of those things, okay? So even when you don't think it's burnout, most of the time when you stop your program and when you get off and you just abandon training and exercise altogether, 99% of the time it's burnout, or burnout is at very least a significant factor. What is it? How do we fix it? How do we make it go away? How do we bulletproof ourselves so that burnout will not conquer our efforts in the future? Burnout is as much physiological, having to do with your body, as it is psychological, mental, having to do with your head game, okay? So when you think about burnout, oh, well, you do too much, you get tired of it, you get sick of it, you don't want to do it anymore. Okay, that's true. But it's subtler than that. It's sneakier than that. And it creeps up on you when you don't necessarily know it's happening. That's what makes burnout so dangerous. It doesn't march at you wearing a bright red uniform and carrying a flag. All right? This thing is sneaky, and that's why it's so effective. You don't realize that what you're doing is burning yourself out until it's too late. And then once you get burnout, it doesn't go away in a day or a week. Sometimes it takes months to recover from burnout. So burnout is almost like an injury or a syndrome, okay? It's not just, I don't feel like it today. No, it's actually a biochemical state that stays with you for months. All right? So burnout is a real thing. It's not just you're lazy or you don't feel like doing it or you're not disciplined. No, burnout is bigger than all of that. Okay? So how does this thing work? Whenever you train, whenever you exercise, you are stressing your systems, okay? What systems? Your cardiovascular system, your musculoskeletal system, your nervous system, your brain, all of these things, your emotions, all of these things get stressed. And it's not just training and exercise. Hell, if I'm standing here right now in front of a couple of lights, and I'm standing and using the muscles to balance myself upright, I'm putting some stress on some systems of my body. Stress is a part of life. There will always be stress. But the thing is, the body is equipped to handle a certain level of stress. If I stand here recording today for an hour or two, my body's used to that. My body is going to 100% recover from that by tomorrow. And this is something, if I'm standing here for an hour or an hour and a half every single day, 6 days a week, my body can sustain that workload day after day, because as the next day comes, I'm fully recovered. I'm 100% recovered from the stress caused by the previous day. Therefore, I'm not going to burn out. But what happens is I get to this point where I say, I really want to get some video recorded, baby. So I tell myself, Paul, you need to go to that studio. You need to be in there recording minimum 4 hours a day, 6 days a week. And no problem. I come in here on the first day and I stand here and I record for 4 hours, and I get done and I'm like, yeah, I did it. I'm the big man, you know? And then I go back home and I edit, and I wake up tomorrow and yeah, I can feel the bottom of my feet are a little sore, and it's no big deal because I'm pumped and I'm excited. I still feel good, even though I'm not super comfortable like I was, but no problem. And I come down here again, boom, boom, high energy, and I'm selling it like I'm selling cars at a used dealership, right? I'm animate, jumping up, and boy, I'm just teaching the hell out of this thing. 4 more hours, right? And I feel good. My legs are a little tired now, but that's fine. I still feel happy. I wake up the next day, I can still feel a little bit of tension in my legs and stuff, but I'm excited. I want to do this. I've been holding myself back all morning, wanting to run down to my studio and start recording. And once it's time, I get in here and I'm all excited. Do you see what's happening? My head feels good, but my body is getting stressed. And the thing is, my body and my head, they talk to each other, okay? So it's only a matter of time before my body is going to send up a signal and say, you know what, brain, this is too much. We're flipping the switch. We're pushing the button. The body is burned out. And then almost from night to day, all of a sudden my head doesn't want to record anymore either. And I'm finding every excuse and reason subconsciously why I can't come record and why I shouldn't record. My body is asking my brain for a break, and my subconscious brain is putting up roadblocks. And sure, pretty soon, I'm not going to be doing this every day. I'm going to be to a point where I haven't been in my studio for 2 weeks. And I need to get back into the studio. I know I need to. I've got these videos, but I am just so not in the mood. I don't know why. I know that it's good and I know I enjoy it, but man, I am just not in the mood. I need a break. That's burnout. And we're not even talking about training and exercise at this point. We're just talking about standing still for a couple of hours and talking, okay? Just imagine how much more stress you're putting on your body when you get up in the saddle of your bicycle and you go out riding, 20, 30 miles 4, 5, 6 times a week, right? Or when you're lifting weights. Hell, I lift weights. My wife lifts weights. A lot of people lift weights. And, when you're lifting, it doesn't feel bad. You're like, man, a set only takes me about 30 seconds to get through. I only did 12 sets today. Paul, that's only 6 minutes worth of work. Son, do the math. You're trying to tell me I'm going to get burned out? I'm a big, strong man. I'm not going to get burned out after 6 minutes of work. You're stupid. Yeah, I'm stupid, right? Check out your heart rate variability if you have a watch or something that measures that. And whatever your heart rate variability is during a normal day, maybe it's around 50, 60, something like that. And then you do that workout and you check your heart rate variability that night, you're going to see it's down around like 30 or 40. 12 hours after your workout, and your heart rate variability is down by 20, 30%. And you're telling me that you only worked out for 6 minutes and it didn't stress your body, right? Funny, good joke, okay? Even though when you wake up the next day, you're like, well, my muscles don't feel sore or anything like that, so, I'm going to hit them again. There is stress there. You just stressed your system. You just stressed certain muscles. You just stressed your brain. And if you're doing too much too soon, it will overload you. It'll sneak up. It'll accumulate over time, and you'll disappear. You'll stop your program. Okay? That's how burnout works. That's why it's so dangerous, because we feel good the next day, we feel ready, and even sometimes when we don't feel ready, we're disciplined and we push ourselves and we make ourselves do the workout and do the session anyway. You see what's happening here, right? We don't perceive stress on our systems very well. And when we do perceive some stress, we tell ourselves, you're just being lazy. You're just being undisciplined. No pain, no gain, son. You gotta stick to it. You gotta get out there and lift or run or swim or whatever. And that's where we get ourselves into problems, okay? Your body is stressed when you're training. And are there people that train a lot and don't get burned out? Yes, there are. But talk to those people, talk to those successful fitness lifestyle people who train for 2 hours a day, 6 days a week, or 5 days a week, and they love it and they feel great and they're healthy and they've been doing it for years. Talk to them and ask them, did you start off training 2 hours a day? And I bet you 10 out of 8 of those people are going to tell you, oh, hell no. It took me years to build up to what I'm doing now. Oh, really? This is where almost everybody goes wrong when they want to start training or exercise. Too much, too soon, right? They think no pain, no gain. And even when they work with a trainer, that trainer gives them a program and says, I only want you doing this. I only want you doing it for this long. And you do that workout and you're like, this is beneath me. I'm big. I'm strong. I'm Paul Lynn. You're telling me to do 3 sets of 8? I'm going to do 20 pounds more than you told me. And I'm going to do 7 sets of 12. Ha ha. And then I'm going to brag to my trainer, you underestimated me, son. I'm a big, strong man. I did twice as much as you gave me. And I still feel great. I could go do more. Ha ha! And the trainer's going, thou fool. You're going to do more for a week or a month, and then you're going to blow away. You're not going to be here anymore. And that means I'm not going to be getting paid anymore. And then this guy's sitting there like, how do I deal with Paul? Because this guy's an egomaniac. He's a bastard. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he's a big, strong man. I'm trying to get him on a path for success. And if I tell him no and I hold him back and I say, I only want you doing this, he's going to think I'm a shitty trainer and he's going to go find somebody else. And if I just let him keep going and doing the stupid stuff he's doing now, a month from now, he's going to be burned out and not training anymore. What's the right answer? Well, as a trainer, that's the situation that we find ourselves in, right? People always think they're ready for more, think they can do more. When you tell them to do less, they get mad at you and they think you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to put them on a canned workout for everybody else, or you're trying to play it safe because you're scared of liability issues. There's all kinds of things in people's heads which make them think that they know better than you. And just imagine, I think I need a trainer, but I'm not going to listen to what the trainer says because I think I know better than the trainer. Therefore, I'm going to hire the trainer and then do my own thing anyway, get mad at the trainer, and then I won't be working out anymore 3 months down the road. That's the path that most people follow. Pay attention, you'll see that a lot. Go to the gym, ask a couple of trainers if that happens, and that's going to be their experience with most people, okay? So stop and think about this. You're in this situation. How do you avoid burnout? And I'm going to give you some ideas, some tips that are really going to help. First thing is, I want you to listen to your body and pay attention to your mind, okay? I go out and I'm just starting my program. I said I need to shit or get off the pot. Paul, you're a fat, sloppy bastard. You need to exercise. Okay, I'm going to do it. And I start and I say, well, today I'm going to go out and I'm going to run 5 miles like I used to do. No, son, you're not going to go out and run 5 miles. You're going to go out and take a 20-minute walk. What? Come on, that's bullshit. That's garbage. My dog can do a 20-minute walk. I mean, that's not challenging. That's where you're going to start. You're going to do a 20-minute walk. And when I finish that 20-minute walk, I'm still going to feel great. I'm still going to feel like I could keep walking. Nothing's going to be hurting. Nothing's going to be sore. I didn't challenge myself at all. And I'm going to go back to the house. I'm done for the day. That's it. Crazy, right? And then the next day, I feel great. I'm ready to train, and I'm going to go out today. And I say, yeah, I feel like I can do a little bit more. So today, I'm probably going to do a 25-minute walk, not a 30-minute walk. I'm not going to run. I'm just probably going to do a 25-minute walk. And then the next day, I wake up and I can feel my feet maybe just a little tiny bit. There's a little bit of soreness there. But I mean, it's nothing I can't walk through, right? It's nothing. But I'm probably going to take the day off anyway. I feel something that I don't like, and it's the very beginning of my program. I'm going to give myself a day to catch up. Now that I'm rested, I wake up the next day, I don't feel anything. Everything feels good, and I just had a day off, okay? Now, I might kick it up to a 40-minute walk, okay? I might go a little slower because I'm increasing the distance, but now I'm going to take a 40-minute walk. And then the next day, everything feels good, but I also know I just stepped it up a lot. So the next day, I'm going to take a recovery walk. I'm just going to walk for 20 minutes nice and slow, and I'm going to call it a day. And then the next day, I feel fantastic. I mean, that recovery walk really lived up to its name. Okay, so now I'm going to go out and I'm going to actually do a little bit of running, right? I'm going to run for 1 minute, and then I'm going to walk for 3 minutes. Then I'm going to run for 1 minute, then I'm going to walk for 3 minutes. I'm not going to run fast. I'm not out here sprinting, but I'm going to be in about the slowest, most comfortable run I can. And even though I know I can keep going, I'm only going to run for 1 minute at a time. And I might do that maybe 4 or even 5 times. 5, 1 minute runs with 3 minute rest walking in between. And then the next day, because that was a pretty big escalation, I'm probably going to take the day off. Okay? If I'm training you, this is the kind of strategy I'm going to give you. And you're going to be bored at first, and you're going to be, Paul, this makes no damn sense. I can do so much more. And every time when the workout ends, I feel like I want to keep going. I feel like I have more gas in the tank. Yes, 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 that's right. Do you get it? It's kind of like driving a car. You don't run the damn thing empty because that's bad for the car. It'll stop going, okay? You stop while you still have plenty of gas in the tank. And then when you wake up the next day, you're not in pain. You don't feel sore. You're not calling your friends saying, oh my God, yesterday was leg day. Oh, I can't even move. I'm walking around. I'm limping. I'm all gimpy legged and stuff. And I'm hobbling like a goblin, man. Oh, I'm going to be walking all screwed up for the next week. You know, that's a classic sign of overtraining. When you're sore, when you're in pain the next day, you're not stimulating your body to respond positively. You're deteriorating your body and accumulating stress, which is going to burn you out. Okay? It doesn't matter that you can train like Hercules for 2 months straight and lose 20 pounds and transform your body in 2 months, because you absolutely will burn out at that rate. You will, I don't care who you are, you will burn out. And then you will stop exercising. You will abandon whatever diet you've been doing, because a diet also causes stress and will also result in burnout. And 6 months down the road, every bit of the results you got, every bit of the weight you lost, absolutely will come back. Okay? Do you see where I'm going with this? Intensity and coming on real hot and heavy and strong and, doing what you can. I know you can do it at the beginning, but I'm telling you, don't do it at the beginning, because if you do train real hard at the beginning, and if you don't build up very slowly and gradually over time, you will not stick with it. Burnout will win once again, the way it always does. You will not ever learn to love the training, and you'll abandon it. The difference is, if you suffer through that in the beginning and humble yourself a little bit and keep it very easy. I work out 6 days a week. I train 6 days a week, all right? But if it's time to go to the gym today, and my gym is in my living room. But if I say, okay, it's time to train, and I'm putting on my shoes, and, I can't describe it. I don't know what it is, but there's just something. I really just don't feel like training. That's all it takes. I don't have an excuse like, ooh, my chest is sore, and oh, I did something with my hip. Oh, I've got a tendon in there that's tight. No, I don't need a good excuse. If I just don't even feel like it, I'm going to listen and I'm going to say, there's some stress there. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why, but I'm not training. Now, a few hours later in the day, maybe I eat a little bit of food, I get some carb in my system, and then maybe I'll revisit that and I'll be like, Paul, do you feel like training now? And I'll think about it. Yeah, everything feels good. All systems are go. Okay, my body just needed some nourishment. Cool. And then I'll go do that training. But if I still don't feel like it, I don't try to convince myself. I don't try to negotiate with myself. If my body says, Paul, is it possible to take a day off? Oh, hell yeah. And I won't train. I won't feel guilty about it. I won't look back. Hey, that's it. That's all I need to know. And as a result, over time, in the beginning, that's frustrating, right? Because you want to do more and you're holding yourself back, right? It's humiliating. But the difference is that will teach you to love this thing called exercise. So now it gets to a point where you're not training to lose weight. You're not exercising because you want to stay fit and you want to avoid deterioration for age and, all these other things. No, you're just doing it because you genuinely enjoy the work and it's gratifying and it feels good. And, it's almost like some people with coffee. Oh, I'm not myself until I have a bunch of coffee, it kind of becomes the same sort of thing. I'm not a coffee drinking person at all, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Once I train, yeah, I feel a little bit stronger. I feel a little bit more limber afterwards. I usually train right before my second dog walk of the day. And after I train, yeah, I feel like I can run a little faster. I feel like I'm a bit more agile. I feel a little more energized. That's how good training makes you feel. That's how healthy training works. When you get done training and you're flopped out on the floor, just laying there staring at the ceiling in a puddle of sweat, like, oh my God, I just annihilated myself. Sessions like that are great once in a while. I like those, okay? But think of those as special events. Don't think of those as regularly planned sessions. Once in a while and giving yourself 2 or 3 days of recovery after one of those, that's fine. No problem with that. But your everyday training should not leave you feeling drained. It should not leave you feeling exhausted and unable to move and sore and putting ice packs all over you and stuff like that. If you're in that groove, don't worry, you won't be there for long because you will burn out. You're overstressing your body. Your body's not going to change and adapt in positive ways. It's going to deteriorate and retreat. But yeah, proper training, healthy training, you feel great all the time. It stimulates you. It energizes you. The next day, you're not feeling, oh, I'm all wore out. No, you feel great the next day too. If you had to do your same session from the day before over again, you absolutely could, even though maybe you shouldn't if you're balancing your stress levels and all of that. Hey, that's what I've got for you today. The goal here is to get you in that groove where fitness becomes a part of your life, a permanent fixture in your life, not just some temporary intervention when your weight starts getting out of control or your back starts getting sore because you're sitting at a desk all day. Oh yeah, I'm going to exercise for a couple of months to get my beach muscles on before summertime. That's a waste of time. You get on this roller coaster back and forth. I want you to learn to love this thing. And once you learn to love it, it's not a task you have to do every day. It's a joy and a pleasure, and it's a part of your day you look forward to. I want that for you because that's going to make you healthier. It's going to make you live longer. It's going to make you get injured less often. It's going to keep you out of the hospital and keep you away from medical bills. It's going to keep you feeling, enjoying what you see in the mirror more often. There's just a lot of things that go into this. There's a lot of benefits, and I want that for you. So if you want that for you, and I'm helping you get that for you, subscribe to my channel, keep getting the videos, keep getting your head full up of good knowledge and good wisdom that's going to make you succeed. Thank you so much for watching. Click like on your way out the door. I do appreciate it. Have a great day. Cheers. Stay healthy. Stay fit. I will see you next time.